Bonjour, mes mignons. Despicable D here.
Hi!
If you're new to my channel, which you probably are because this channel is very new, welcome. My name is Deidre. I am an artist, a mom, a stepmom, a Brillo pad, and a human being. Welcome to my ever-loving space of learning where we learn to try new things, try to do our best, and should we fail, do our best to fail forward. So today, I'm actually going to be working on art. How ironic, because this is my means of getting away from my art. But yeah, I have a deadline and I have to make a video, so we're going to combine the two. We're going to work on art and discuss the reasons behind why I started this channel. What are my intentions? Intentions are very important to me. So first, I must note there is a baby in the room. She will make noises. We've already gotten used to that. But I have stuff to do. So I'm going to talk a little bit about why I decided to start this channel. For the past couple years, my life has been very different than I had foreseen it. When I started my art career, I've been feeling so swamped. These are art references. We're going to draw some trout in here, so that's why I've got my phone out. So yeah, if you know me, you know that art is a very big part of my existence. My art is what helped me out of addiction. It has helped me through dealing with a narcissist. It helped me through divorce. It has been my fallback with every difficult situation that I've been through. It is literally the reason why I'm still here. If it wasn't for my art, I would have never been able to pull myself out of addiction. If you don't know it, I was an alcoholic for almost 10 years. But that's a whole nother video. Yeah, it goes without saying, art is essential to my being able to continue living a healthy life, mentally healthy. So, with pandemic and kids, as of late, the time I've had to be able to work has been diminished to literally nothing. Literally nothing. The kids are, at first they were doing homeschool with the pandemic, and then I became a teacher. They were home for the summer and now they're here for school again. So a lot of my time is spent taking care of every member of my family, especially baby, 4 to 5 children. So if you follow my art, you may have noticed a lack of activity on my social medias. You're not finding any new art. You will not see any new art posted there at all. It's a little hard for me to put it into words, so just bear with me. Just basically, no one wants to be the depressed person. And I think when people realize that they are depressed, they tend to avoid telling anyone. And it's embarrassed to talk about, but I need to be completely honest. I lost so much of myself in the recent month that I think there were times that I started to crave. I wasn't having a temptation to drink again, but I was more craving the feeling that I had when I would drink. That was a pretty big red flag for me, because typically I don't really think about it. But the amount of stress that I've been under with kids and life and not being able to work on my art, my whole career is just on hold. I have no way of expressing myself. This was it. This was me. And I suddenly have no means of sorting out everything, all of the spaghetti mishmash that is in my soul and my head. No way to express that. I started to feel like I gave up my whole identity. In a way you kind of do. It comes with the territory. But I started to feel like I lost so much of myself that I was like a robot. I became a drone in my own house. I don't have any friends out here. I have no one to connect with or relate to. I have a baby that follows me around everywhere.
I don't like talk.
With needs, and she doesn't know. Yeah, she has no idea what I am feeling. So it's
wow! Oh, drink.
That's my coffee.
Oh, yes. Drink. So like it.
Mm-hmm. Depression is something that really creeps up on you. It creeps up on you very slowly, but it's very quick in a way, if you get what I'm saying. It's slow, but it's quick. And when I started to ask myself, hey, is even the thought of drinking again a sign that maybe something isn't right? You know what I'm saying? I started to feel like I had hit a dead end, like a solid dead end, because I couldn't do my art. I can't do my art. Like, this is a 4-leaf clover at this moment, and it's not even perfect, you know. There's a baby in the room. I'm sitting here. The fact that this piece even exists is like finding a 4-leaf clover. I have no idea how. This piece is almost done, but yeah, the fact that not having my art sucked so much out of my soul and my happiness kind of started to worry me. You know, there was, okay, I can't do my work, but maybe I can, I don't know. I realized I was in a very bad place, and I was falling into actual depression. I was actually depressed. I feel I still am. I'm just coping as best as I can. So there was one night, like, I started spending my nights like awake. I couldn't sleep. I already have sleep issues, but not being able to sleep and just deep thought and sadness. And there was one night I was awake. I cried all night, maybe dozed off for a couple hours, and around 5 or 6 a.m. I was awake, crying, and, you know, I felt very lonely. Like, my husband is here, my daughter is there sleeping, and it's just like this loneliness. And then suddenly I got the thought in my head, oh, you know, sign up for Doordash, which is insane. I don't know why I wouldn't have that thought at 6 a.m. on very little sleep. But yeah, sign up for Doordash. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, to get out of the house. Something I can do that will get me out of the house whenever I want, or whenever I can. Whenever my boyfriend is not at work, and, you know, can take the kids, and then, you know, I can leave for an hour and just have a drive, you know, doing deliveries, but still clear my head. Just get that hour out of the house. I was like, okay, I'll sign up. You know, maybe it's something I can do. Maybe it's something I can do to even bring in some more money and, you know, solve some of our financial issues. So I signed up right there. It was very easy. So they didn't need a lot of information to sign up. I was kind of surprised how easy it was to sign up, but as soon as I signed up, I decided to, you know, test the waters. So, like, when I signed up, I immediately got an order for Walmart, which I was in bed, and it was like 6 or 7 a.m., so I had to dismiss that order, but I was excited. So I started Doordash a few months ago, and it has given me back some form of control in my life. It's like, it's not even what I expected it to be. I thought I was just going to go out and, you know, get away from the kids for an hour here and there and just keep my sanity. But no, I actually realized that I had forgotten what it felt like to be an individual. To be out there by myself without like a baby or a kid bouncing up and down asking me for things, you know. I was out there. I could choose what jobs I wanted to take. I could put music on. I could drive. I could have a say in what was going to happen in that hour. That hour was mine, no matter how small the decision was. Just the fact that I had a say of what I was going to spend it doing was extremely liberating. And I realized, like, that's something I haven't had for a very long time. So I think it's fair to say that Doordash was the catalyst to my realizing that for the past 15 to 20 years, I have only given myself art. You know, I am extremely self-conscious of what I share with the world. And since my primary focus has been art, I kind of feel like, or have felt like, you know, I should only be doing art. Anything else that I do, you know, it's not a big deal, but art is what is my window to the world. And now I'm realizing that's probably not necessarily the best thing. So with the Doordash, I was able to take a step back. I deliberately took a break from stressing about my art. I had like 2 little pieces. I have more than 2, but there was 2 that I was focusing on that they were on the verge of completion for so long, and it was just breaking my heart. But I was able to put them down and not look back. I was able to Doordash. I brought in, you know, the money that we needed from my art. I was able to bring it in through Doordashing and just liberate myself from my art. Not that the art was a bad thing. It's just my art is for a whole different purpose than finances. And I was getting buried into this hole of just, I came to realize I was getting deeper and deeper in this hole of just not being able to do the art I even wanted to do, you know. So being able to step back from my art and like look at it and, you know, just feeling liberated to where I know I can spend any amount of time on any piece right now and it's not going to matter because my finances are taken care of with Doordash. You know, that was a huge, like a weight lifted off of my shoulders. That's exactly what I needed. So with that, I started spending more time to myself. You know, I had a makeup box that was just sitting there and I've always been intrigued by the art of it. You know, I watched Instant Influencer as just like watching something where people were having fun with makeup, you know. It's like, oh, I always wanted to be able to do that, but I never knew how. And it's like, I'm an artist. There's no way in heck I could ever figure out how to put that kind of art on my face, you know. So I kind of started playing around with that with the time that I would have. You know, it's okay to have a baby in the room while you're messing with that. You know, it doesn't take nearly as long to do like a face of makeup versus completing an entire piece of art. So because my art was on break, I had time to try other things that I like to do or would have liked to do. There was one day I was door dashing. My boyfriend sent me, he was telling me about a Joe Rogan episode where there was a guy on there. I forgot his name. Asian gentleman. I think he's from the Bay Area. His name sounded very, very familiar. So I decided to give it a listen. They were talking about how he mentioned how he realized like he was canceling himself before the world had a chance to cancel him. Like he had anxiety issues and some other stuff. But yeah, the thing that stuck out to me, among other things, one thing that stuck out to me was he was canceling himself before anyone else had the chance to, meaning he would stifle himself and not share things about himself and not show the world who he was so that he wouldn't have to go through the pain of being shunned or canceled for not being what everyone expects. And I just realized in listening to that, it's like, yeah, I am guilty of the same thing. Like, there's so much of myself that I don't share. I'm always sharing my art and you see my art, but so many people don't really know anything about me to where if I say anything that's like a joke or whatever, they'll take it serious because they don't realize that I'm not a serious person most of the time. I like to joke. I like to have fun. I like things that aren't just, you know, serious expressions of emotions. I like to have fun too. So I kind of realized that I had developed a habit of canceling myself before even showing who I was to the world. Like I hid part of myself. I've been hiding part of myself so that I wouldn't have to deal with people who were used to the old quiet me no longer being interested in my work. Does that make sense? But now that I was in a position to where I lost my art and my mental health was suffering because I couldn't do this, I had nothing to land on because I had spent years doing only art instead of things that I enjoy and building, you know, skills outside of art. So it's like I was so afraid that I literally set myself up to fail if my art should fail me. Yeah, so like now that I didn't have my art, I literally had nothing. And I think that's what sent me on a very rapid downward spiral psychologically. So I kind of decided, you know, there is so much more in the world to experience. There's so much that I have not allowed myself to do or experience. And with the freedom Doordash has given me to be able to take a step back from my art, I decided now is the time for me to do the things that I like other than art. I knew I liked makeup, so that's kind of where I started. But like my immediate thought was, okay, what do I like? And I just realized again, I've spent so many years not knowing or not doing anything but art and caring for children, you know? I couldn't even think of what I can do. Like, what are the things that I can do that I would like to do on my own other than art? So, in a sense, this is kind of a journey of self-discovery. Life is too short. Honestly, it's really short. And to spend it hiding and not pursuing things because of fear of what other people will think. Makeup was a guilty pleasure of mine. But I was so afraid of how it will look to others that I never shared it with anybody that I was even pursuing it. You know, my boyfriend would see it and I was of course concerned. Oh, he's not going to see my natural beauty. He likes my natural beauty. But I really wanted to do this. So I had to free myself and let myself express myself in the ways that my soul wanted to. So yes, I got into makeup. I learned things. I had fun. It was so much fun. You know, there were challenges that I had to learn to overcome. And like now you can see I'm not bad at it. I'm not perfect at it, but there's a lot behind why I do it. It's an art form that I wanted to learn. I learned it. The world can see it. I'm not canceling myself. I don't know. Like I was saying, life is too short. I wanted to live and experience and do the things that I like. So, as someone with Asperger, it's hard enough, you know, being able to connect with people. That is something that I still haven't been able to conquer. You know, I struggle to connect with people, but to limit myself and stifle myself is probably not helping. So I've made the conscious choice to open up, to not be afraid, you know, try new things, see challenges, and step up to them and not just shy away because, oh, this is not within my comfort zone. It's not within my rigid interest. This is not pencil going to paper, you know. I decided to stop doing that and just do things, live my life. I want to live my life. I want to conquer my fears. I want to try new things. I want to learn new things, you know, without fear of failure. This is so comfortable for me, despite, you know, giving myself challenges here and there within my art. Drawing itself has become so comfortable for me to where maybe it's unhealthy to confine myself to this rigid, very rigid body of interest. So yeah, TLDR, I spent years canceling myself and stifling the rest of myself and not being able to be the rest of myself because I needed to be this part of myself. But now that I can't be this part of myself very much, I need to rediscover and discover new things. So that's it. This is me living. This is a lack of alcoholism. This is as I'm drawing. But yeah, this channel, basically what this channel is. I mean, we're living. We are alive, guys. We can do anything. Like, it doesn't matter. It's okay. You don't have to be afraid to share different things. You don't have to be afraid to venture out of the comfort zone and the rigid body of interest that you have. It's okay. What's funny is that the universe is so big and I'm so small, and it really isn't that big of a deal if I venture out of that little rigid body of interest and the world sees it, you know? Nobody cares. Like, none of it matters, yet it does. None of it matters in this universe, yet to be able to do so matters to me, especially like right now. You get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter, but then it does. And realizing the fact that it doesn't matter has given me like a freedom that I've been needing really badly for so long. And it's like a freedom from so many different things, not just like isolation, but, you know, freedom from self-inflicted isolation. Maybe not intentional, definitely not intentional, but perhaps not being able to work on my art has been the best thing that could have happened to me right now. Because if it didn't, I would not be free. Yeah, and that is it. That's what this channel is about. Hopefully this video is not too long. I wanted to make it brief. You know, I'm still getting work done. I got some little fishies here. That rocks. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I hope that you join me on this adventure of self-discovery, self-rediscovery, liberation, all that wonderful stuff that I've been not doing and really need. Thank you so much. If you're on the same path, great. Let's connect. Subscribe, comment, like, share, do whatever you want, do whatever you feel like, because we can, because we're free. So thank you. Have a great day.